Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a software engineer that just said, I need help finding a job. They have applied to over 150 applications and only gotten a single interview with that, or less, which is how you know if your resume is good or garbage, which is why I know this resume is garbage. So your application ratio is how many applications it takes to get an interview. Your goal should be 50 applications to one interview at a minimum. When people follow my advice, they get one interview per 7 applications. But this person, on the other hand, it's taking them over 150 applications to get a single interview. So this founding engineer has a terrible resume. So what is the first problem they have? And I want to let everybody know I do more than tech resumes, but the tech market is in the dumpster. So like 90% of the resumes sent to me are tech, and of those, it's usually full stack or AI engineers. So the biggest problem is they did not pick a stack. I am currently working on a stack agnostic role, and I'm going to tell you those are so incredibly rare that you're probably never going to find one. You need to tailor your resume to a particular stack. Now, that could be front end, it could be full stack, it could be backend Java, backend Python, backend C#.net, or AI engineer. Those are the 6 stacks that you want to tailor your resume to as a software engineer. If you do not, you will fail. If you do not tailor to a stack, you will fail. And again, I am working on a stack agnostic role. They're so rare, like 1 out of every probably 50 or so roles. So I don't know what stack this is. I'm going to take a random swing in the dark, and we're going to judge this as if this was a Java developer. Now, are they actually a backend Java developer? I have no idea. They didn't tell me. So this is what we need for a Java developer. Java, Spring, Spring Boot, Maven, SDLC, SQL, RESTful APIs or REST APIs, microservices, CI/CD, object-oriented programming, Git, Linux, Unix, Agile, Scrum, cloud, architecting or systems work, Hibernate, Docker, Kafka, Kubernetes, and rare but nice to have is full stack, DevOps, RabbitMQ, and AI. So if I am unable to find 75% of those in qualification format, not keyword format, qualification format, because recruiters are not keyword hunting, we are qualification hunting, you get to move forward. If I cannot find this in 20 seconds, you get yeeted and deleted. So will I be able to find it in 20? No, because their resume is garbage. It takes them over 150 applications to get an interview. So let's find out how bad this is and go. This is irrelevant. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There's nothing in this resume. Is there anything here that's relevant? No. I didn't even make it through 20 seconds. There's nothing in this resume that is relevant. Even for an AI engineer, by the way, this has nothing that would be relevant. Like, as an example, for an AI engineer, if you wanted to know what the keywords for those are, it is this one. So, right down here. But they didn't have that either. And if you notice, which I don't think anybody can, at the very bottom is their education, which is bad. You want your education at the top. They also have a skill list. And in that skill list, it has Java and Golang and Python and JavaScript and Linux and Spring Boot and Java and Spring Boot. And it has everything that you would think that I need. Unfortunately, I can't use anything in a skills section. Nothing in a skills section can be used. Now, you may be asking, why? Why can't you use anything in a skill section? Well, the problem is, like I said earlier, we are looking for qualifications. We are not looking for keywords. Keywords would mean I could look at the stuff in the skill section. Now, what is a keyword? A keyword in hiring is what the hiring team needs. It's basically this stuff, right? Like anything the hiring team needs is a keyword. So Java, Cloud, Hibernate, Docker, those are keywords. But like I said, I can only look for qualifications. And what a qualification is 4 things. If you are not the 4 things for a qualification, you do not count as having that qualification. Number 1 is keyword. You do, in fact, need a keyword to be considered a part of a qualification. Number 2, you need the how you did it. Number 3 is the non-technical reason you use the keyword. And the 4th one is where. So because a skills section does not show me how you used it, nor why you used it, nor nor where you used it, anything in the skills section doesn't count. But if you notice, this doesn't have anything I'm looking for. Migrated a core LLM to OpenAI. Okay, that's a little bit of stuff. And then resulting in a 50% reduction in response latency. No one cares. Spearheaded the onboarding and integration of new clients, successfully scaling monthly call volume to 24K. Nobody cares. Designed and implemented a multi-cluster AI image background removal with failure recovery, implementing circuit breakers, which increase background removals. Why do I care? I don't. That's not the non-technical reason. That has nothing I'm actually looking for. It's great that you've cured world hunger, but I need to see that you used Java. And part of the problem that people have is they also put a bunch of numbers in their resume. The only numbers that should be in your resume are your phone number. You need your phone number. And your dates of employment. And for software engineers, the one other exception is the scale of what you've done, but only in the number of users. So I do not care about the fact that you had 24K. I do not care that you had a 40% decrease. I did not care that there was 100 plus virtual assistants or that you removed it by 72%. None of that matters. That is a hot dog. So what a hot dog is I want you to imagine that you're hungry. You go to a restaurant and you're like, hey, I'd like a cheeseburger. And they say, all right, cheeseburger. You say, yep, cheeseburger. So they go to the kitchen and they bring you back a hot dog with cheese on the side. And you're like, this is not a cheeseburger. I'm really confused. This is not what I wanted. And they say, no. A hot dog has meat just like a hamburger. A hot dog has cheese just like a hamburger. A hot dog can't have pickles, onions, and cheese just like a hamburger. So when you wanted a cheeseburger, what you really meant was this hot dog, and you would look at them like you were crazy and you would walk away. And that is the exact problem with this is filled with hot dogs. Absolutely filled. 50% reduction in response latency, hot dog. Cost reduction in automation, 40% decrease, hot dog. Implemented automate mechanism for node clusters where new clusters were blah blah blah, hot dog. Increased version upgrades by hot dog. All of it is a hot dog. And if your resume is filled with hot dogs, you do not get to move forward. And it's not. Now, a lot of people are probably being like, well, Lee, this is a very accomplished engineer. They're a founding engineer. They're a founder. And the point is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you've done unless it's relevant. And a company that would be like, well, yeah, that's impressive, but I don't care. And the lack of care is the exact problem you're running into because you're trying to impress us through a resume. And you're not going to impress us through a resume. Nobody can. It's not what the resume is about. So I need you to go back to the drawing board. I need you to fix the formatting. The formatting should look like this. This is my format. This is the link to do it. It's in the description below, but it should look like this. But your biggest problem is these sentences are blank. Like when a hiring manager, and again, I do not give recommendations that only work on the recruiter, as I think those are bad recommendations. I give stuff that works on the hiring managers too. Is when they're looking at your resume, they're seeing this. They're seeing an entire blank page filled with accomplishments that are completely irrelevant to what you're going for. And yeah, it's great that you've done that and you should be proud of it, but I don't want to see it. It has nothing to do with what I want. It has nothing to do with what I'm looking for. It is filled to the brim with hot dogs. And hot dogs get you rejected. Hamburgers get you hired. And this resume has almost zero hamburgers. You have it all the way at the bottom, but again, I cannot use those because I am not keyword hunting. So that is all I can do for this resume, and unfortunately, it's mostly blank. They sent an entirely blank page. This is why everybody is rejecting them. But if you want your resume reviewed, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter or right here on YouTube. That is where I review the resumes. And to all of my members, I just want to say thank you very much for supporting this channel. My members get access to videos a little bit early. If you want to be a member, you can join in the link below. But thank you for your support. I am a small channel, so your support means a lot to me. So thank you very much. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer new grad. This person said they've been applying with different resumes. Content is mostly the same, but updating with projects. Don't do that. Maybe there's something else wrong with it. Only part-time internship at a university. Looking to get full-time, and I'm applying everywhere for any roles that could match with the keywords on my resume. So Just because I said you want your resume to pick a stack doesn't mean you can't have multiple resumes for multiple stacks. You can have a software, a Python resume, a full stack resume, a backend Java resume, and a front end resume. That's okay. You can have multiple resumes. In fact, that's what you want to do, but don't apply to all of them with the same one. So for full stack, what we need is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. If you do not have TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, you are probably going to get declined. I don't care if TypeScript implies X. You need it. Almost every single job is asking for that. Then you need RESTful API or REST API, SQL, any, cloud, any. But you do have to say the type of cloud. You can't just say cloud. You have to say like AWS. Backend, Python, C#, .NET, Java, React, React.js, Angular, Node.js, Vue.js, DevOps, CI/CD, Agile, Git, and then extra credit for large-scale AI tools and cross-functional. So that is what we need. Can I find it in 20 seconds? I don't know. Maybe. We'll find out. And go. Where's your location? This doesn't count. This formatting is off. This doesn't matter. Okay, architected UI for an AI-powered video using React TypeScript. Good. This means nothing. Oh, that. Using this means nothing. This means nothing. Okay. Your sentences start off fine, right? Architected core UI features for an AI-powered video translation platform. Okay, good. You tell me what you did. Using React. Okay, good. Next.js and TypeScript. Okay. And then you ruin it by saying cutting translation job friction by 40%, supporting 100K in process jobs at a 0.5. Nobody knows what that is and nobody cares. The reason you did what you did needs to be non-technical. You need to be able to describe it to your grandmother or your grandfather or your parent who has trouble turning on a computer. Designed and shipped to scalable asynchronous. Again, I don't really care. AWS good. Celery, no. RabbitMQ, no. Reducing pipeline latency, no, doesn't matter. Again, you know what I don't see? JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Because remember, you cannot put it here. That does not count. Do not put this here. Use my formatting, please. But I don't see that you've done it. I don't see that you've TypeScript, JavaScript, and HTML. Actually, no, sorry. TypeScript. Yeah, no, I don't see TypeScript anyway. I do not see that you see TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. And because of that, I cannot move you forward for full stack. But even beyond that, even if you did have it, these are terrible bullet points. Nobody cares that you resulted in a 12% increase in accuracy. Nobody knows what that means. And again, it's not recruiters, it's hiring managers that do this. I do not give advice that only works for recruiters. I think that's bad advice. But manage scheduling coordination for 20 undergrads, supporting students per semester, proving satisfaction scores. Why do I care? Why do I care that you improve satisfaction scores? That has nothing to do with being a software engineer. Developed waveform. Okay, cool. We're not surfing. This doesn't matter. Engineered a UR3. Cool. This doesn't mean anything. This doesn't mean anything. Nothing means anything. Your entire resume, except for the first two actual lines in this full stack internship, mean nothing. They're not related to what I'm looking for. They're extremely technical to the point where nobody knows what you've done. You need to make it non-technical for the person reading your resume. Otherwise, you're going to get rejected. You know what I'd like you to say instead? Architected a video platform using TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS in an AWS environment so users could watch videos on their phones seamlessly. That would be a sentence that would get you interviews. But this right now is junk. It's just nothing. It's just hot dog after hot dog after hot dog. And I can't even tell what you've done. And I don't have what I need either. Like I see React, TypeScript, and there it is, TypeScript and AWS, but that's only 4 things. Where is the JavaScript, HTML, CSS? Where's the RESTful API or REST APIs? Where's the SQL? Where's the back end? Where's the, you did every act. Good. Where's the Angular? Where's the Next? Where's the DevOps? Where's the CI/CD? Where's the Agile? Where's the Git? I do not know because you did not have it. And if it is not on your resume, you do not have it. That is the rule. I don't make that rule, but that is the rule. If it's not on your resume, you don't have it. Nothing can be implied. So this resume is bad because of those reasons, is that it does not have what I'm actually looking for. It's filled with hot dogs, and you explain nothing about what you've done in a non-technical manner. Because it's not just non-technical. I need to know the business reasons you've done it. If you do not tell me the business reasons, you do not get to move forward, because that is impact, and that is what hiring managers care about. Next resume. This is a resume of another full stack. This person has stated a lot, actually. Canadian Tech Hub, applied all my final year, ended up with a job, but only got 2 interviews out of 200 applications, which is worse of a ratio for Canada just because there's less jobs there. I'm going for junior full stack roles. I recently found your YouTube channel and updated my experience section. Have not applied with this update yet, but let me know. And then you listed a bunch of other qualifications, which are the exact same as my list. That is why I have this list, is this is the common things that full stack people want. Like that's what these lists are. So yeah, you just listed what was there. So let's see why this resume does or does not work. And yeah, 20 seconds on the clock. And make sure I'm not missing anything, and go. And go. Okay, formatting's awful. Full stack for serving hot dog. All right, doesn't matter. Built a C#.NET, good. Processing, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Oh, there's JavaScript. This doesn't matter. Pipelines does. What does this matter? All right, time. This person does not have it. I actually had to skim. So this formatting is atrocious. This actively hurts my eyes to read, and you want to use my formatting. The reason I have this is recruiters on average are working 35 to 75 different roles. We are not just working in tech. We are working in, well, in fact, here, let me give you an example. At the same time I was filling software engineer roles, I was filling an oleonucleotide scientist, a project manager, a sales manager, a VP role, an NLP scientist, a different type of sales, a data scientist, and then 20 other roles that I can't remember off the top of my head. That was all concurrent at the same time. And again, I filled above average for what I did. So when you're using this, because we only look at 20 seconds, it's easy to read. And the entire point of this is it's easy to read. And when you're reviewing, on average, 120 resumes per hour, sometimes more, this is hard to read. These bolds, do not bold this. The only thing that should be bolded is what's bolded here. Your name, your education, the work history, title, that's it. That's it. This is a nightmare to read. I almost missed JavaScript, which is critical. But you know what I don't see? I don't see HTML and CSS. I don't see TypeScript, which sometimes you can replace TypeScript with a backend language. I did not see SQL. And maybe it's here. I didn't see CI/CD. Oh, wait, there it is, all the way down there that I missed. I didn't see, I don't see what I need. Like, this hurts me to look at. And this is why you're struggling, is this doesn't have what I need. Because again, where's the JavaScript? In fact, I'm just gonna, no, there it is. I missed it. Where's the HTML? I'm just gonna copy paste all the way at the bottom. Great. That doesn't count. Where's the CSS? All the way at the bottom. Where's the rest? All the way down here, which I didn't get to. Where's, I think you had cloud, AWS somewhere. All the way at the bottom. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. If it's in a skill section, it doesn't count. I don't know what to tell you how to fix this, but I can't read this. The bullet points don't have what I want. The actual things are way too technical. It doesn't tell me the business reasons. I don't think there's a single sentence here you can salvage. I recommend you deleting this and start again. Just delete all of this and start again. I cannot find what I need, and it hurts me to look at it. I want you to use this formatting. And again, this is the one that's hard to review because like there's just not the stuff I need. Like if it's blank, what am I gonna do? And it's like I'm already sick and this is giving me a headache. This is the best I can do with this one. I'm just repeating myself. This formatting is so atrocious. It's making it worse than, well, anything else. Next resume. This is a resume of a C#.NET engineer. So what do we need? We need .NET, C#, SQL, Cloud, Git, Agile, RESTful APIs, CI/CD, front end, weirdly enough, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, ASP.NET, and nice to have is DevOps, RabbitMQ, cross-functional, and probably a little bit of AI. I will say these are probably a little outdated. Again, I'm sick right now, so I don't trust myself to update these ones again. But next time we have a C#.NET dev, I will update them to make them more correct. These should still be close enough, right? These are like A instead of A+ keywords right now. So 20 seconds on the clock. Let's see what I can find. What did this person say, actually? They didn't say anything. That is okay. All right. Let's find out. And go. Okay, good. Use C#.NET RESTful API Azure to build a newsletter web service, delivering emails. I don't care about that part. Developed a judging platform, ASP good. I don't care that. JavaScript, HTML, CSS, support, nomination screening, perfect. Git, Docker, and Azure. Troll included. This needs more. It's okay. Kind of already said a lot of that. Website using jQuery. Don't care and don't care. Time. It's not bad. It's not bad. I think you need to. You were a little too much. Again, I don't care about the 30K, right? I do care about delivering to subscribers daily. That's something I would want to know. I wouldn't want to know about the 30K. Remember, the numbers, that's not a useful number. And then developed a judging platform. Just say a platform because you already said what it is later, right? Using ASP.NET, SQL, good. You don't need to say SQL Server. JavaScript, HTML, and CSS to support nomination screening. Good. Used Git and Docker. And you already mentioned Azure above. Don't say Azure Cloud. Just say Azure. Right? Azure. Don't. You want to remove unnecessary things. If Java is different than JavaScript, then Azure Cloud can be different than Azure. DevOps for CSV, push control and keep adulation. This does not have a good way to describe it. I need a better way to describe this. And then I don't like the word leveraged. And you already mentioned some of this stuff, but this is okay. So I like this. So just say created or used. And then I need a better reason. So you don't have a good business reason here and here. These can be deleted, right? I don't think these are needed. But you're definitely on the right track, and I like it. Yeah, I like it. And I have gotten somebody, I think, a job in Singapore before. So I need you to shrink it down a little bit. I need you to make sure to be very clear with the words we're using. And use a comma here, right? We want a comma right here. Right there, comma. So in the Agile and CI/CD environment. And then don't say leverage, say something else. And then I need a non-technical reason here and here. And I think this is going to be a very solid resume. Next resume. This is a resume of a Java software engineer. This person says was laid off in May after 4.5 years as working as a dev and took a break. Your gap is not 2 years, so you should be okay. Again, if your gap is over 2 years, you have a problem. If your gap is under 2 years, it's not a big of a problem. You will have to explain why you did it in interviews, but it's not usually going to impact your chances that much. Restarted the search in January, and I've probably hit around 300, 350 apps, applying to software engineer, 2, 3, and senior roles. Those don't mean anything. I've seen some junior software engineers with more experience than senior and vice versa. I've gotten a few initial phone screens, like 5 to 6. Okay, that's good. And one actual interview. So I feel like recruiters are getting turned off when I describe my experience and are deciding not to move forward. Well, we're going to find out. Reworked the format a little bit to move in with your guidelines. So Let's find out. 20 seconds on the clock for Java, which, do we do a Java developer? I think we did. This is it. Y'all should know it. It's here. Y'all can do it. We're going with the assumption that you know this one. All right. And go. This and collaborated with cross-functional stakeholders. This is mid. Kotlin might be useful. Own the design development Docker of K. Implemented Kafka. Where's your Java? There it is. Then one of the newer GraphQL. I don't care about time. All right. So there's a lot here that I don't think it needs to be. Again, you graduated from college in 2020. That was 6 years ago. You don't need to put and you also don't need to put when you started. As long as you put graduated, you can either put status graduated or December 2020. Second, your formatting needs to be fixed. Again, this is not this. This is not this. This should not be bolded. Do not bold this. This should be italicized, and there should not be a line here. And then your bullet points are mid. Like, the best way I can say it is they're just kind of mid. Like, collaborated with cross-functional stakeholders to design and review media feeds and amenities in GraphQL and GRC protobuf schema for a new suit of Kotlin Spring Boot is too much. Like, this is way too much. And none of this is also... See, I like the client needs, but none of this is really related. Kotlin is... What is Kotlin? I know there's something I have in my qualifications list that involves Kotlin or Kotlin, whatever it was. I think it's Android. So I don't really care unless it's an Android thing. So your first sentence is mostly bad, except for the, working with product design stuff. They really like that. And it just doesn't really belong. And then this is okay to a degree, but again, it's so you're burying what I need, right? Like I feel like that I want Java, that I want this stuff, and you're putting it at the very end of your sentences. Like, I understand it's not impressive to you. I understand that it's implied that you know GraphQL, that means you know this, that if you know Kafka, it means you know this, but it's not. Nothing's implied. So I'd like you to go back to these sentences and I'd like you to shrink them, but add more of this stuff, because I don't see Git. I don't see Java until the fourth bullet point. Why is it that you're a Java dev and I don't see Java until the fourth bullet point? This one I like. This one can be useful for senior stuff. I like this one. That's actually a good one. I'd prefer a little bit more, but again, I just don't have enough, right? Like, you have some of it, like AWS, CI/CD, but where's the Spring Boot, the Maven, the Git, the Linux, the Agile, the Scrum? Well, you had Agile up above. The architecting or systems work, the Hibernate, the Docker, the Kubernetes. I just, and the Java. I need you to simplify it a little bit more. And if the reason you're probably getting rejected in the interviews is this resume is a bit of a blank space. And they say, oh, they've done this stuff. And then they interview and they say, oh, you haven't done what we actually need you to do. Which also is why you're not getting a ton of interviews in the first place. Because with a dev of your seniority, you should be getting way more interviews. Like, you worked for Expedia, and you worked for Expedia. That's a pretty big company. You've got some pedigree there. It's not Fang, but that's solid. So I just don't see it. It's too broad. It buries what, again, you're like hiding what I need. You're burying the lead. This is the most important stuff. If it's not here, it's a hot dog. Now, saying that, again, I would keep which one was it? Hold on. So I like this sentence. Mentor the interns is great. I want you to shrink it down, though, because it's a little too technical. And this part, so that aligned with the client's needs, I like. But the other stuff is, I need you to make it basic and boring. You're trying to impress me. You're trying to show your breadth of experience, but all you're doing is showing that you don't meet the qualifications. So that's all I can do for this resume, and that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. If you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter and right here on YouTube. And to my members who get access to videos a little bit early, thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. I'm a small channel, could not do it without you all and your support, so thank you very much. And if anybody wants to get access to the videos early or support this channel, they can join in the link below. But that is it, and I will see you in the next resume and video to help you get ahead of your job search. Later.